members opposite voted for a cover-up when they voted against referring the Prime Minister to the Privileged Committee over this. They don't like it, but it's true. This House and the people of this country deserve better than yet another cover-up. So for my incredibly respected and right honourable friend to say that the government has applied redactions to the documents sent to the ISC beyond the scope agreed by the House, and has also withheld documents entirely from the ISC, is an extremely serious matter that completely undermines what this House agreed. There may be legitimate reasons the government doesn't want to place certain things in the public domain, but if the humble address motion doesn't allow for redaction on those grounds, the government can't just unilaterally decide to ignore the will of this House. And sadly, this pattern of backsliding fits a pattern of behaviour. The Prime Minister's Chief of Staff had to resign over the Mandelson scandal, but now he's apparently back, advising the Prime Minister already. We forced the government to hold an inquiry into the grooming gangs, then they sabotaged it and they dragged their feet for a whole year. We said it needs to be harder to get ILR, Home Secretary said she'd do it, Labour backbenchers didn't like it, and so now it's not in the King's Speech. Again and again, as soon as attention moves elsewhere, they start backsliding. So we now expect the government to discuss its approach to the humble address constructively and would welcome such discussions. So I ask the Minister, now that the government's had reviewed all the documents, the IC has reviewed the documents, when is the government going to release all the rest of the Mandelson files? The Minister says after Whitsun. When after Whitsun? Will the government return to the House to ask permission for the redactions that they clearly wish to make, which go beyond the scope of the humble address? Or would the Minister brief opposition members on Privy Council terms about these broader redactions that the government clearly wishes to make?
Mr. Speaker, I take these matters very seriously, as I'm sure members across the House would recognise. I will not, though, for one instance, countenance the idea that there is, as loud as you may want to shout it, a cover-up. If there was any suggestion of a cover-up, Mr. Speaker, I would not be standing at this dispatch box to defend the process. I would resign. That has not been the case, and I suggest to the honourable gentleman that he might want to focus on the substance of the matter at hand. On the questions that he's put before me, I've answered them in the statement and in my answer to the co-chair of the Intelligence and Security Committee, and I refer him to my previous answers.